Hey there. It's me, Virginia. I'm back again to read you another poem for our 420 read along. I haven't had much 420 to read along with, so I scrounged up the last little bit I could find. After this, I'll be all out. Sad. But I wanted to use it to read to you. Today, I'm going to read some Revolutionary Letters by Diane DiPrima, excuse me. She's a feminist and fat activist poet, and there's a line towards the end of this that I wanted to preface a little bit, because when I first read the poem, it actually struck me as sort of brushing off guilt, but reading it again, I decided to go with this poem because I guess I changed my mind. There's a lot of anger right now, just around the entire world, obviously, especially in America, where we're fighting for the rights. Black Lives Matter. They deserve to be angry. But I think one of the things that is getting lost in the mix a little bit is humanity to some degree. We're fighting against each other, and we shouldn't be. We should be fighting against the system that's broken, that has led us to this point. And remember that all of us, on whatever side you're at, we're raised in this system. We're indoctrinated into this system. This is all we know. And luckily, a great number of us had peers or mentors, whether that be on TV or in books or in person, at school, that led us in a better direction and helped us to learn what it meant to accept and to be kind. But sadly, a lot of people never learned that lesson, and it's not necessarily their fault. I grew up in a small town with very little color, we'll say, and was lucky enough to have parents who taught me correctly. And I have friends all over the world, which is such a blessing. We don't always agree, but we're humans, and the one thing we have in common is love. That's all we want, right? Love. Hatred is just love confused. We said that in a poem a couple weeks ago. Everyone just wants to be loved. And we were raised in this broken system. So just remember that when you're angry at someone for not understanding, for holding on to values that you see clearly are wrong. Because not everyone has been lucky enough to be taught that they're wrong. And you don't owe them that. It's not your responsibility to teach them. That's why there are people who do and are fighting, and that's why I'm here, hopefully to open a few eyes and clear out some of that hatred and remind you that beneath that hatred is just a desire to be loved. It's just a little kid who wants to be hugged and told that it's all going to be okay, right? Because it's going to be okay. We'll get through it. We just got to hold on to each other and get back to our roots, get back to loving each other and taking care of one another. Anyway, I've said my piece, or at least for now. Let's move on to a poem. So, like I said, this is Diane DiPrima, And it's called Revolutionary Letters, dedicated to Bob Dylan. I'm gonna hit this last little bit of weed I've got, and read you a poem. One. I've just realized that the stakes are myself. I have no other ransom money, nothing to break or barter but my life. My spirit measured out in bits, spread over the roulette table. I recoup what I can, nothing else to shove under the nose of the maitre d', nothing to thrust out the window, no white flag. This flesh, all I have to offer, to make play with as we slither over this go board, stepping always, we hope, between the lines. 4. Left to themselves, people grow their hair. Left to themselves, they take off their shoes. Left to themselves, they make love, sleep easily, share blankets, dope, and children. They're not lazy or afraid. They plant seeds. They smile. They speak to one another. The word coming into its own. Touch of love on the brain, the ear. We return with the sea, the tides. We return as often as leaves, as numerous as grass, gentle, insistent. We remember the way our babes toddle barefoot through the cities of the universe. 12. The vortex of creation is the vortex of destruction. The vortex of artistic creation is the vortex of self-destruction. The vortex of political creation is the vortex of flesh destruction. Flesh is in the fire, it curls and terribly warps. Fat is in the fire, it drips and sizzling sings. Bones are in the fire, they crack tellingly in subtle hieroglyphs of oracle, charcoal singed, the smell of your burning hair. For every revolutionary must at last will his own destruction. Rooted as he is in the past, he sets out to destroy. 29. Beware of those who say we are the beautiful losers, who stand in their long hair and wait to be punished, who weep on beaches for our isolation. We're not alone. We have brothers in the hills. We have sisters in the jungles and in the Ozarks. We even have brothers on the frozen tundra. They sit by their fires, they sing, they gather arms, they multiply, they will reclaim the earth. Nowhere we can go, but they are waiting for us. No exile where we will not hear welcome home. Good morning, brother. Let me work with you. Good morning, sister. Let me fight by your side. 36. Who is the we? Who is the they in this thing? Did we or they kill the Indians? Not me. My people brought here cheap labor to exploit, a continent for them. Did we or they exploit it? Do you? Do you admit complicity? Say we? We have to get out of Vietnam. We really should stop poisoning the water, etc. Look closer. Look again. Secede. Declare your independence. Don't accept a share of the guilt they want to lay on us. Man is innocent and beautiful and born to perfect bliss they envy. Heavy deeds make heavy hearts, and to them, life is suffering. Stand clear. Stand clear. We got this. We'll get through. We'll make a better world. We will. Love you. And I'll see you next time.